Right now, the numbers are in, and crime was down in Madison in 2022. But what do residents think about safety in Wisconsin's capital city? We'll get their thoughts.
Plus, the shocking comments from a teacher in western Wisconsin that resulted in an investigation and a closer look at the treatment of Native American students in Wisconsin schools.
And another reminder to be safe on the ice during our winter weather temperature swings as a truck falls into Lake Onalaska. That's all coming up right now at 10. Tonight, Madison police are searching for a man who they say robbed a visually impaired woman earlier this week while she was walking downtown. The woman was walking on North Broome Street Wednesday night when the man came up behind her and grabbed a bag off of her arm. The woman was not injured, but her personal items, including her wallet and phone, were in that bag. Madison is getting less violent, at least according to the latest numbers from MPD Chief Sean Barnes.
He shared last year's crime statistics in his State of Public Safety address this afternoon, but acknowledged that while violent crime appears to be declining, the public's fear of crime may not be. Our Arman Rahman reports. Arman?
Yeah, Eric and Charlotte, there were a lot of numbers to break down from Chief Barnes' speech. For example, stolen car cases decreased by 12% between 2021 and 2022. Home and car break-ins both decreased by 33%. But I went out to ask residents if they feel like they live in one of the safest cities in the country.
All of us have made tremendous strides in reducing crime and making Madison one of the safest cities in America.
It's high praise, but Madison Police Chief Sean Barnes says the numbers back it up.
At a time when violent crime is on the mind of many Americans, I am proud to say that we are trending in the right direction.
There were 6 homicides in 2022, 40% less than in 2021.
The only acceptable number of homicides in our community is 0.
MPD took 360 illegal guns off the streets last year. Shots fired calls went down 39%.
I believe that the sound of gunfire directly contributes to our fear of crime. Fear of crime is far more important than any actual number or statistics.
Which is why News 3 Now went out to ask Madison residents if they feel like they really are living in one of the safest cities in America.
Personally, like when I'm walking, I don't usually feel unsafe. I think sometimes we hear about stuff that kind of scares me. So, I mean, obviously I'm still like alert, but
there was a consensus.
Madison is a very safe city to live in.
Madison is a pretty safe city. I feel like a lot of the incidents that happen here are incidents that people know about, or people are into it with each other.
However, there were areas people wanted to see addressed this year.
Less acts of discrimination.
I cannot stand here and say that we are a perfect organization. There is no police department in America that's perfect.
In terms of community outreach, Chief Barnes outlined how MPD contributed $1.5 million in grants to community-based crime reduction initiatives and youth anti-violence programs. Also last year, 48 youth were referred to restorative justice.
Armand, thank you. Governor Tony Evers ordering flags to be flown at half-staff on Monday. This is in honor of the Milwaukee police officer who was shot and killed this week. 37-year-old Peter Jerving died in the line of duty Tuesday. A struggle with a 19-year-old robbery suspect escalated into a shooting. The suspect was also killed. Jerving served 4 years with the Milwaukee Department. New tonight, a construction worker was injured on a job site on Regent Street today when materials fell from a crane and hit him. This is right above Lucky's 1313. Madison fire crews say a crane was carrying materials approximately 40 feet in the air when they landed on at least one passing vehicle. No motorists or pedestrians were hurt, but one construction worker did suffer serious but non-life-threatening injuries and was transported to the hospital.
As temperatures start to warm up again, here's a reminder to stay safe on the ice. This truck fell into Lake Onalaska. At this time, we are unsure what led to the incident and if anyone was injured. A local towing company arrived on scene but decided not to remove it for now for safety reasons.
They tell you there's 12 to 14 inches of ice, but my car is worth more than 12 to 14 inches of ice.
If you are still considering taking your car out on the ice this weekend, it's definitely not cheap to get your car towed from the ice. It could cost anywhere from $5,000 to $20,000. Well, let's see what is in store for this weekend. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti has our first warn forecast.
Well, milder weather's on the way for this weekend, so some of that ice will start to thin out a little bit, so we'll just have to see. Be very careful when you're outside and on the ice. The time lapse from the WISC-TV Skycam, take a look at this. Sunrise to sunset, mostly sunny skies. Didn't see a cloud all day long. And while temperatures were right around freezing, they'll be a little milder this weekend. Doppler track right now, quiet across the upper Midwest. Really no precipitation anywhere around us. Current temperatures are near the low temperature for the day. In fact, here in Madison, exactly at the low temperature for the day, 22. We were at 35 earlier this morning, right around midnight, and then we fell to 22, got back up into the low 30s, and now we're back down into the lower 20s. A few places are in the teens, including Verona at 19. We're seeing 23 right now in Stoughton and 23 in Sun Prairie. Look for mostly clear skies overnight. Low temperature dropping to about 17 around midnight, and then temperatures holding nearly steady overnight. We'll see milder weather return for tomorrow and for the first half of next week, but we're watching a storm later in the week. I'll have more on that in the forecast in just a few minutes.
Gary, thank you. Portage High School today put on lockdown after what some officials believe was another false swatting incident targeting the district. The Portage Police Department said 2 officers were already at the school at the time the threat was made today, and the school was immediately put into a lockdown until police determined the threat was not credible. New tonight, a Minnesota man has been arrested in connection to a 2005 sexual assault on Madison's east side. 41-year-old Addison Yang from Eagan, Minnesota is now facing 3 counts of first-degree sexual assault. Officials say Yang was identified by DNA from the victim's sexual assault kit.
A developing story this afternoon. An F-22 fighter shot down another object, this one flying over Alaska. Officials want to determine what the object was doing and if China or any other country had anything to do with it.
Was much smaller than the spy balloon that we took down last Saturday. Roughly the size of a small car, as opposed to a payload that was like 2 or 3 buses size, right?
Several military aircraft are now involved in the recovery effort off the coast of Alaska. The White House says the U.S. first detected the unmanned object last night, flying at about 40,000 feet off the northern coast of Alaska, floating northeast, well within the range of commercial aircraft. We'll check out these pictures showing a long-range nuclear-capable missile test in California. It's called Minuteman III. Last night, the U.S. Space Force launched the unarmed intercontinental ballistic missile from Vandenberg Space Force Base. Authorities at the base say the test focused on the weapons system security, safety, and effectiveness.
The FBI today conducting a search of former Vice President Mike Pence's Indiana home in an ongoing search for classified documents. Pence's advisor tells CBS News that DOJ conducted, quote, a thorough and unrestricted search of 5 hours and removed 1 document with classified markings. A bipartisan group of governors meeting at the White House today for an annual winter meeting. All 55 governors from every state and territory were invited. The gathering allows President Biden to gauge how he's being perceived on both sides of the aisle. The death toll has surpassed 22,000 and continues to rise in Turkey and Syria following this week's devastating earthquakes and aftershocks. The damage is so vast it covers an area about the size of England. Amid all the misery, there are fleeting moments of joy. Onlookers and soldiers cheered and cried as rescuers pulled this boy and his sister from a collapsed building today. The siblings had been buried for more than 100 hours.
Here's a bit of comforting health news. A new CDC update says seasonal flu activity is low around most of the country. It's only considered high in New Mexico, New York City, and Puerto Rico. The flu peaked in November. Since then, related hospitalizations have declined, along with doctors' visits for respiratory illnesses in general. The number of people crossing the U.S. southern border illegally has dropped to its lowest level in nearly 2 years. Border Patrol says it made fewer than 130,000 apprehensions last month. That's down 42% from just December. A Ho-Chunk student from western Wisconsin is speaking out after she says a school staff member made a racially derogatory comment toward her.
The Black River Falls School District confirms the staff member is currently on administrative leave. The family says change needs to happen because racial discrimination toward Native Americans is still all too common. Ken Kozarowski reports.
Naomi Thunder's lunchtime Monday was like any other day, hanging with friends while doing some schoolwork. And she had a question, so she asked a staff member she sees every day for some help, someone Naomi to this point had only had positive interaction with. The answer captured on Naomi's phone.
You don't care. You don't care if you get a D-. You're Native, right? So you just can collect a check. You don't have to give 2 about your future, so why should I care?
I just look over at my friend that heard the whole thing. She was pretty shocked and I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to do.
She sent the video to a few friends who spread it even more, reaching Naomi's uncle by Wednesday.
It just needed to be seen. You don't talk like that to kids.
Christian McClure posted the clip to his Facebook page, saying if he hadn't,
it wouldn't have gotten shared. It would have been brushed off. It would have been blown over. Nobody would have acknowledged this because it happens all the time.
The video has gone viral among the Black River Falls community, one whose high school student population is more than 20% Native American. But the comments hint at a larger problem.
Probably gotten like 6 people coming out about different teachers and like, hey, was it this teacher because this teacher did this? It's gross. I'm probably going to be out of here by the time my kids are in high school.
The school district is conducting an investigation and placed the staff member on administrative leave. All week, classmates and other teachers have offered Naomi support.
I know that it's only going to make her stronger.
And for Naomi, it's a chance to make sure no one else faces discrimination.
I want things to change because people that look at people of color look at them different.
And that was Ken Kozarowski reporting.
The family identified the staff member as a special education program aide. According to the Wisconsin Department of Public Instruction, her teaching license is currently under investigation. New tonight, more than a month after Badger Ridge Middle School principal Beth Steffen died in a crash near her home in Fitchburg. The Verona Area School District has named her successor. Dr. Larry Love accepted the job as the school's principal. The district says he has worked in school administration for 4 years and has also experienced in a variety of other roles. Still ahead tonight, a bit of a warm-up this weekend. Gary Canalti will have the complete details in his full forecast.
But first, it's Super Bowl weekend. From tailgates to an interactive NFL experience, we'll take a look at all the sights and sounds of the biggest day in football.
Welcome to Dwellings.
Shop our fabulous showroom, Hard Rock Road, Fitchburg.
As the chief buffet officer here at Pizza Ranch, it's my job to make sure we have the best buffet in the US of A.
Impeccable.
New record! Wobbler. I'm on it. I don't do it for the glory. I do it for the buffet. More icing.
Pizza Ranch, everyone's favorite buffet.
Creamy. Brain freeze! Carl, why?
With reliable COVID-19 results in just 15 minutes, everyone is making room for Binax Now in their medicine cabinet.
Do we still need these pregnancy tests?
Yeah, no. Out with the old, in with the #1 COVID-19 self-test in the U.S. With the same technology doctors use to test for COVID-19. Binax Now.
Oh, the weather. What's the chance of rain tomorrow?
Ooh, 80%.
I make it rain. I make it rain.
Speaking of making it rain, at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison, we have an average 95% payout, which leads you to more chances of playing longer and more chances to win big. Play longer, win more, chances are you're gonna like it.
Ho Chunk Gaming Madison.
Low E has hurt my ability to perform.
He hasn't been able to make the bed in years.
Now there's hope. Now through February 16th, join Planet Fitness for $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime, and turn your low energy into big fitness energy in 2023 in a clean and spacious, judgment-free zone with tons of equipment to get you energized.
Low E, not for me.
Simply join through the free PF app for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, February 16th.
Welcome to Dwellings.
Shop our fabulous showroom, Hard Rock Road, Fitchburg.
It's Valentine's Day on the Jennifer Hudson Show. Andy McDowell joins the party.
The last date I went on was a catastrophe. He goes, "You're beautiful for your age."
Plus, the lovely Tinashe.
On the next Jennifer Hudson Show at 3.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Consumer sentiment has hit a 13-month high, a sign that easing inflation and a strong jobs report are helping people feel better about spending money in this economy. In January, the U.S. economy added 517,000 jobs, and the unemployment rate dipped to 3.4%, the lowest level since May of 1969.
Tiger Woods is back. Today, Woods announced on social media he is returning to competitive golf next week. The Genesis Invitational will mark the first start for the 47-year-old since the 150th Open Championship last July. It'll also be his first PGA Tour event since the Zozo Championship, which was back in October of 2020. While the Chiefs and Eagles are fine-tuning their Super Bowl game plans, fans are also getting ready for the biggest game of the year.
Danya Backus is with fans in Phoenix, Arizona, where the pregame excitement is building fast.
Fans are flocking to Phoenix for Super Bowl 57.
And it's just like a dream to have us go to the Super Bowl again so quickly. Fly, Eagles, fly.
And representing the team they believe will take home the Vince Lombardi trophy.
Hopefully Chiefs is like maybe about 36 to 20.
From tailgate parties to the Super Bowl experience, even the youngest fans are jumping with excitement.
Who do you think's gonna win the Super Bowl?
Chiefs! There's one thing to say and one thing only. They're better.
This year's game has a little something for everyone. Fans here in Arizona and those watching at home will witness history both on and off the field. Let's start with Jason and Travis Kelce, two brothers playing against each other in the Super Bowl for the first time. Mom has a custom-made jersey.
We're very fortunate. We're very proud of them. We're going to be happy for whatever team. I just hope it's high scoring and everybody's having a good time.
Autumn Lockwood will have a perfect view of the brothers on the sideline. The Eagles' assistant sports performance coach is the first black woman to coach in the Super Bowl.
It's a big deal because nobody's used to it.
The quarterbacks are also breaking new ground. Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts will be the first black quarterbacks to go head-to-head in the big game.
If you think about Jackie Robinson and people that broke the color barrier in baseball, I wouldn't be standing here today if it wasn't for them.
And to celebrate 50 years of women flying in the Navy, the pregame flyover will be piloted by an all-female crew. One more first for Super Bowl 57. Danya Backus, CBS News, Phoenix, Arizona.
Kickoff is this Sunday at 5:30 p.m. Central Standard Time.
And you know, Super Bowl Sunday is second only to Thanksgiving when it comes to the amount of food that Americans eat. Wings are a fan favorite. The National Chicken Council projects Americans will consume almost 1.5 billion wings this weekend. They say that's enough to circle the circumference of the earth 3 times. People buying their wings at the grocery store should find prices about 17% lower than a year ago.
The reason we're seeing chicken wing prices down, we're seeing more supply out there.
Courtney Schmidt from Wells Fargo says guacamole fans also have something to cheer about. Avocados have dropped 27% in price, but the celebration ends there because items from the snack aisle cost 11% more. Beer is up 8.6% over the last year.
And check this out, Lady Liberty on Lake Mendota making a return today as part of the annual Winter Carnival. But the weather not helping out for some events this weekend. Organizers say the Connolly Classic Pond Hockey Tournament has been canceled due to ice conditions. And the ice boats scheduled to appear are delayed due to travel conditions. However, they say most of tomorrow's events are still happening as planned. So here's Gary with a look at your weekend forecast.
It'll be comfortable out there. Temperatures should be up around 40 degrees. See plenty of sunshine, but of course that melts a little bit of the snow and ice too. It makes things kind of slushy. But will we add to the snow? We'll have to wait and see. Not in the short term. 3 things you need to know in the forecast. That bright sunshine, like I say, will bring mild weather for this weekend, and temperatures will stay well above normal into the middle part of next week. Now we'll see the next chance of precipitation Tuesday afternoon into Tuesday night, and that will be in the form of rain. And a little of that could linger into Wednesday morning, but we'll see a mix of precipitation on Wednesday night, changing over to snow at some point on Thursday, and that could lead to some accumulation. Snow depth right now, actually least in the central part of the state. Of course, here in southern Wisconsin, we got that heavy snow yesterday, especially in the Madison area into southwestern Wisconsin. Northern part of the state, still, you can see snowfall amounts well over a foot north of about a Twin Cities to Eau Claire to Rhinelander line. But notice much of the area to our south, either very little snow, which will melt pretty quickly this weekend, or or no snow at all. So what will happen is this area will warm up, this area will stay cold, and the storm track by the middle of next week will be kind of right over us. So that plays into it as well. And notice the temperatures. Average high temperature goes from 30 to 33. We're well into the 30s and 40s, but then that transition down as that storm comes through. Colder air in the back part of the storm will drop us into the mid-20s, but as soon as the storm pulls out, we're back into the 30s and 40s. Looking ahead to Thursday, this is one of the computer models. This is the European computer model showing the potential for a pretty significant snowstorm from around La Crosse up into Wausau and northeastern Wisconsin, but the amounts will drop off pretty rapidly to the south of that. This will be a mix of rain and snow, and most of the snow will be at the tail end of the storm, whereas this area will see snow pretty much for the entire event. The GFS computer model from the U.S. government has the heavier snow a little farther to the north and west, but also higher amounts, maybe a foot or more through the Twin Cities up toward Eau Claire and into the UP of Michigan. Lake effect snows will kick in there. But notice southeastern Wisconsin, probably no snow, less than an inch in Madison. That will be at the tail end of the storm. Our northwestern viewers may get several inches. So we're probably looking at some accumulation. Right now, we're more likely to be on the lower end of this storm with the heavier snow to our north and west. But it's still a week out and bear some watching. In the short term, notice a little bulge in the jet stream. That indicates milder Pacific air that'll be heading back in our direction, and we'll see that move in here for the weekend. And like I say, for the first half of next week, there's also a warm front at the surface across western Minnesota and western Iowa. Our side of the front, winds are pretty light. Temperatures are in the upper teens to lower 20s. They'll probably fall a couple more degrees and then actually either hold steady or start rising later on as winds kick in from the southwest, and that will warm us up for tomorrow. In fact, looking for a high temperature of 39 degrees under mostly sunny skies. Brisk southwesterly winds 10 to 20 miles per hour. Planning your day for tomorrow across Dane County. 38 for the high in Sun Prairie, 38 in Deerfield, 39 in Mount Horeb, and 42 in Mazo-Maney. Across the rest of southern Wisconsin, the warmest temperatures farther to the north and west where there's a little less snow on the ground. 39 Madison and Watertown, 38 in Monroe, but 43 in Baraboo and 43 for the high in La Crosse. The first warned 7 to 10 day forecast, up around 40 this weekend into early next week, mid 40s on Tuesday, upper 40s on Wednesday. Again, rain here, but a mix of rain and snow Wednesday night, changing to snow at some point on Thursday, colder on Friday. The next system for the start of the following week, back into rain as temperatures are well above normal.
And coming up in sports, Wisconsin got the last laugh in their series opener at Minnesota thanks to Britta Curl. How the captain earned UW an extra point in the standings. That's next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
A former prosecutor, now circuit court judge, Janet Protasewicz. On the Supreme Court, she'll be a common-sense judge. She believes in abortion rights, fairness for all, and protecting public safety. Janet Protasewicz for Supreme Court.
It would appear that
the butler did it.
But this isn't a whodunit film. It's a Nissan sales event ad.
Get a low $359 per month lease on the 2023 Nissan Rogue.
Catch these offers while you can.
Do you have an idea for an invention, but you don't know what to do next? Call InventHelp. They've been helping inventors for 35 years. Call today for free information.
Call 800-550-5543.
Last call. This is the last week of Denny's Jewelers retirement sale. The final markdown has been made. Each and every piece has been priced for immediate liquidation, up to 70% off. Nothing held back. All must go. Denny's Jewelers retirement sale is over this Valentine's Day at 5 p.m. sharp. This is absolutely your last chance to save up to 70% off at Denny's Jewelers before this sale is over. Denny's Jewelers retirement sale, 1903 Cayuga Street, Middleton.
Exciting things call for a drum roll, like this new offer on one of Wisconsin's favorite lotto games. It's Super Cash 5 will get you 6. During February, when players buy a $5 or greater Super Cash ticket, they'll get a bonus ticket with 2 additional plays for the next drawing. Only in February. This exciting offer from the Wisconsin Lottery is going fast.
Don't delay, the Brothers Maine President's Day sale is happening now. Shop local and save with tremendous deals on Whirlpool, KitchenAid, Maytag, and Amana appliances. We have the area's largest selection and the lowest prices guaranteed. Feel like family. Brothers Maine.
Right now is absolutely the best time of year to buy furniture, and Slumberland Furniture is the best place during our huge President's Sale. Come see our special offers throughout the store. Plus, special financing is available for convenient monthly payments. And did you know Slumberland offers custom fabrics and colors at no extra charge? Check out this gorgeous sectional, and it comes with a free ottoman. Plus, so much more during our huge President's Sale at Slumberland Furniture.
It would appear that the butler did it. But this isn't a whodunit film. It's a Nissan sales event ad.
Get 0% financing for 36 months on select models.
Catch these offers while you can.
I'm going for Judge Janet
Protasewicz?
You don't need to know how to say Protasewicz to know that Judge Janet believes in abortion rights, fairness, and public safety.
Protasewicz.
When you think of women's college hockey, two teams come to mind, Wisconsin and Minnesota. Between the two, they have 13 national championships to their names. Tonight, the two renewed the border battle for the 117th time. The Badgers beat the Gophers the last time out in November and struck first in Minneapolis. Off the face-off, the puck finds Katie Kotlowski, and she fires one into the back of the net from the blue line, and Bucky takes a one-goal lead. Now, this one would head to a shootout, and the captain, Britta Curl, gonna call game. She dangles and then silences the crowd. Badgers gets the extra point in the shootout thanks to a 3-2 win. The last time Wisconsin men welcomed the #1 team to the Kohl Center, the year was 2014, and UW swept Minnesota. That was not the case tonight. First period, Gophers on the attack, and Logan Cooley spins and wins to put Minnesota up 1-0. Second period now, still 1-0, and here's a member of the all-name team. Jimmy Snuggerud sends a snipe into the back of the net. Badgers fall 4-1, the final. High school girls hoops, round 2 between Cuba City and Mineral Point in a battle of the top two teams in the SWAL. Cubans amped up the D early. The freshman Ashley Rowe comes up with a steal and banks it home for 2 of her 20 points to give Cuba City the early lead. Mineral Point would rally. Pointers work it inside to Lacey Lindsay, who gets 3 the old-fashioned way. Monster game from her. Lindsay scored a game-high 24 points, but the Cubans always had an answer. Ella Vosberg spins and wins for 2 more as Cuba City wins the game and the SWAL Conference 64-59. The Eagles' road to the Super Bowl felt like a breeze. A 31-point win over the Giants, followed up by a 24-point win over the 49ers in the NFC Championship game. Now it's just the Chiefs standing in their way from taking home the Lombardi Trophy. And this group not really focused on the magnitude of Sunday's game. To them, the Super Bowl is just like any other game.
I don't really think any of that matters. I think we're going to go into the game trying to control the things that we can, truly. That's the main thing right there. Go out there and try and play our best brand of football and do it at a high level.
We're not making it any bigger than, what it's our next game. And in the same routine, everything like that. We understand it's a Super Bowl. We're excited to be here, but, we're going through the process the same way we've been going through it.
And we're back after this.
If you've been injured in a truck crash, call Gruber Law Offices. Trucking law can be extremely complicated. There are specific rules and regulations that apply, and we know what it takes to win. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
All you have to do is point.
Yes!
1-800-GOT-JUNK can make it disappear.
And that's why they all start dancing.
Break up with your junk. Save $41 with the code BREAKUP41.
Are you waking up in the morning with a sore jaw, headaches, maybe even ringing in your ears, all because you're grinding and clenching your teeth at night? That's exactly what was going on with me. That's when I found this, the Brux Night Guard. Now the Brux Night Guard redirects the bite force away from the back teeth, reducing jaw pain while still protecting the teeth. This unique design is what makes Brux Night Guard different from all other traditional grind guards. Go to BruxNightGuard.com and order yours today.
When we designed the all-new Honda Pilot Trail Sport, we made it adventure ready. With features like an enhanced all-wheel drive system, and off-road tuned suspension so you can blaze new trails. The all-new Pilot Trail Sport, the most off-road capable Honda SUV ever. Visit your local Honda dealer where new vehicles are arriving daily. Buy online or reserve from select Honda dealers.
As a veteran of our country's armed services, you have already made the ultimate sacrifice. Why should you have to continue to do that? Through no fault of your own, you may be experiencing hardships, such as the inability to pay rent, utilities, or receive other life-sustaining services. And once again, you're called upon by your family to serve and protect. We want you to know we are here to support you. The Veterans Rental Assistance Program was created by and for people living in Wisconsin, with benefit approvals being issued to veterans in just days, not months. It's not easy to ask for a hand up, but we are clear in our mission. No Wisconsin veteran should ever have to face homelessness or lose heat, power, or water again. 833-WISC-VRAP. That's 833-947-8727.
All you have to do is point. Yes!
1-800-GOT-JUNK can make it disappear.
And that's why they all start dancing.
Break up with your junk. Save $41 with the code BREAKUP41.
Experience, knowledge, and results. That's what you need when you've been in a serious truck accident. Call Gruber Law Offices. We've successfully helped people injured by big trucks for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Join me in the 608 weekdays on News 3 Now this morning.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Finally tonight, tomorrow is the second Saturday in February, and that means it's time to celebrate International Snowmobile Ride Day. The invention of the snowmobile is credited to Joseph Armand Bombardier, who first built a prototype in his Quebec garage back in 1937. In a sense, Bombardier became the Henry Ford of snowmobiles, helping popularize one of the fastest growing winter motor sports.
But I have to point this out. In Canada, they call them snow machines. I've been on several holiday vacation trips. They call them. They don't call them snowmobiles.
Snow machines.
Yeah. So
whatever you call them, the snow is melting fast.
Yeah, you got to have snow, and I don't think it's going to be around long enough to do much snowmobiling around here. At least by the middle of next week. Temperatures are below freezing right now, but we'll be in the 40s from at least the first half of next week.
All right. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 10.
Do something good and have a great weekend.